the regular scheduled Public Works and Public Utilities Committee meeting. Attendance, has it been taken?
Yes.
Okay, will you join me in a pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the council meeting tonight. We're going to have first is the Public Works and Public Utilities Committee reports. Welcome all the guests we have here tonight. We have a bunch of folks here visiting tonight, so it's good. We need to turn, is that all?
Yeah.
So we're all good to go. Oh, it's yours, I didn't know.
They're not sure.
Well, I'm taking over. I'm gonna have control of everything. You're the wrong guy. No, I'm sorry.
Don't look at
Don't
the
worry. I thought I was going too slow, man, go, so I feel better. I thought we were ready to go right on.
Hey, this is my first
Let's
time
get you down
sharing
with
one
this.
of these.
Go right ahead.
We gotta start all over.
No.
Okay, I'd like to open the floor to comments from citizens. If anybody's got a comment, please step up. Name and address.
Matt Smith, 1009 Hampton. I'm principal at the high school, I think everybody knows that. Just want to make a few public comments, and then I'm going to be exiting because we've got a board meeting starting at 7 o'clock over at CIS, and we're actually going to be talking about something you guys are going to hear a presentation about tonight, which is the Tobacco 21 project. And it's, for me, it's a particularly important issue because of the e-cigarette issue that we have seen kind of become a plague in the community over the last 18 to 24 months, probably before that it was starting. And we've really seen a crest in issues happening at the high school. I do want to introduce, and I'll let Mr. Gordon introduce his student from middle school, but I've got Grafton Littrell, Gracie Schultz, and Mallory Smith from the high school. They're going to kind of give you some testimonials just about what they have observed from a student standpoint. I also want to leave you, pass that around, a copy of a possible letter to the editor. I've kind of had it on my desktop. Terry used to work at the high school. She knows how I am. I'm there tinkering stuff all the time. Letter to the editor. One of the things that I think that I've kind of been hesitant about is I know that with the Tobacco 21 movement, that's going to weigh into some of the way some of our businesses in town operate. And so I'm going to be showing this to the Board of Education tonight. I welcome any input that you guys have as well. Hopefully you'll be supportive of some things that this group's wanting to do to try to, really what it comes down to is, you can educate and you can apply consequences and accountability, and we can do both of those pretty effectively at the high school. But one of the things that our arms aren't long enough to reach is all of the access points. And they're going to get into talking about, our high school kids and our middle school kids. They most likely are going to come into contact and have access to some of these devices and some of these apparatus through kids that are 18 to 21 years old. And so something that we're hoping you guys will assist us in addressing and try to, attack what I think Mr. Gordon would agree has kind of become a plague on our youth in Centralia. So, you want to?
Yeah. My name is Nathan Gordon. I'm the principal at the middle school, and Madison Sheeler is an 8th grader at the building. She's going to give her a little bit of information that she's seen just in the last years at the middle school as well, with regards to vaping and e-cigarettes and whatnot. And just reinforce some of the stuff that Matt said, it's an issue, and it has been with our kids. And the Tobacco 21 thing, I believe, is an important initiative because we've only confiscated a few at the middle school compared to, I think, the number that they've got at the high school, which I think that we have just a bigger problem at the middle school level. We just haven't caught them as often. Maybe there aren't as many of them bringing them to school, but it happens. There's plenty of kids using them. None that I've seen a lot of, but the ones that I have caught, they've all gotten them from kids that are either in high school or just out of high school, which kind of goes along with the presentation you're going to hear later about the Tobacco 21 movement. That's where the younger, underage kids get them from, is from high school seniors and kids freshly out of high school. So the presentation, I know that we'll have a good presentation, and I hope you listen to the children. I think they're a little bit nervous to speak, but they'll do a good job. Thank you.
You guys do great. I'm the mayor, don't know what I'm doing.
That's
She didn't shake me up at all. I'm going right on.
Again, if you guys have any feedback or comments that, Mr. Gordon and I would be glad to hear anything you have to say, feel free to come by and visit or call us or anything. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank Thank you.
Thank you.
That presentation is set in your agenda for the second meeting.
Okay. Any other comments from citizens? Okay, we'll close that section. So water and sewer, Matt, you have anything for us?
No, I think we're gonna talk about it after we get through the, activity report with the sewer. Mostly is what we're dealing with this month. We've had some major issues with some old infrastructure lines going down on us. So, just fixed a few leaks. Other than that, we've just kind of been going with the work orders and things that are popping up during the day and getting that stuff done, so.
Any questions on the activity report? No? Okay. Anything specific for water? And sewer, we've got the quote from, is that Vista Sewer?
Fisher Sewer.
So every year in the budget, in recent years, we've allotted somewhere between $70,000 and $80,000 for sewer lining, just to help with the infrastructure and just to help maintain the infrastructure. So in February, I believe, we were a little bit behind all of the changes. And so for our FY19 budget, we had approved right around $70,000 in infrastructure sewer lining. And then what we're looking at now would be FY20 budget. So just so you all are aware that this would be in the new budget, and we have $80,000 budgeted for sewer lining. And Matt can explain more why we're looking at this so quickly.
Yeah, so through Mike and myself dealing with the issue we had behind Pringer's Extreme Art, that was actually last week, I believe. So it's clay tile pipe. It's what they put in the ground back then, but it is falling apart quickly. There's a lot of spider web cracks in it. We replaced a 9-foot piece just outside the manhole, and that was just barely putting a Band-Aid on it. But that was just so we could get everything back in service. It actually had made a suck hole kind of off the alleyway that Phil helped us with, kind of determine where it was going. But the lining stuff, we really have to hit. Apparently Mike told me that behind the bar location in between, or on the west side of Allen, that whole line and then cutting back behind Albert's Shoes down to Jefferson is really bad. And that catches a lot of sewer going down Allen Street, so.
Is that what this quote?
Yeah.
45,000 and change?
And this quote is based on the same prices that we received in February for the other one that we did. They gave us last year's prices essentially. And so what we would like to see tonight is that if there's any way we could maybe get kind of a consensus, what your thought is on this, if we can move forward with it. We wouldn't be able to officially approve it until May 20th, so next Monday night, but we could at least, if we had your
Can I ask you a question,
consent.
Matt? And we're determining these by video camera, looking at it and inspecting it and visually, you
So
can see
the-
that? How's
yeah,
that determining these
The
situations?
The stuff behind, like in between the bank and where the bar location angles and all that, apparently, Mike had cameraed that a while back, and it was in somewhat bad shape then. The one behind Pringer's, just digging it up and just what we had exposed, it's in really bad shape. So just visual and then camera wise, we can't run the camera behind Angels because they apparently got the camera stuck in the sewer main down there when they cambered it. So in order for not to lose the camera, we just would rather.
Yep, thank you.
So you can't camera it because it's the sewer line's too small, or?
No, it's falling apart that much.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just that clay tile's just crumbling. With these guys doing it from above ground, I can tell you, we had a 12-foot deep hole. And Doug, I had 2 live gas mains and 3 old abandoned gas mains that we had to cut out of the way just to get down to the sewer pipe. So,
Man,
it's not very safe doing that, so.
Is this the same people we always use?
Yeah, we've been, I think the last 2 years we've went with these guys. They do a really good job, clean up well, so.
It sounds like it's something we need to do. I think we have, any objections from anybody?
If we don't do it, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, the line's gonna collapse.
They're-
Yeah, you just get worse, won't it?
Yeah, I mean,
We can't
it's,
have that.
it's to the point now that something has to be done, or we dig from Extreme Art all the way back to.
So what do we need again?
If we could just get a motion in a second to approve this, and then it will be officially on the next agenda just for the minutes' sake, because that's what the auditors go through, and it's a large project, but if we can go ahead and try and approve this now, we can let them know tomorrow.
So we got a motion,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, anything in other for water and sewer? No?
Did you?
Do you wanna talk about
Yep.
that now? Okay, so I talked to Chris about it a little bit, I sat down with Heather today. We're looking for some sort of solution to, so we have to spray a lot, of weed killer for maintaining, staying within violation of DNR around lime ponds, lagoons, fence rows. So, we had previously used a 2-gallon sprayer. We spray over 1.5 miles of stuff, so you can tell how efficient that would be if you had to keep filling up the sprayer. I had been bringing in my personal 4-wheeler with the sprayer on the back. We talked a little bit, and we're not sure we wanna go down that route anymore. So we talked to Heather, maybe between the electric department, I talked to Clayton a little bit there at the end of the day. They kinda have a pretty good use for a UTV style vehicle, for pulling wire and stuff up and down the long stretches that they have to do. I'm sure Phil could use it for spraying streets and cracks and stuff that he has to spray.
We spray a lot too.
And like I said, we spray out in the middle of the field where the overflow fields are, and lagoon fences and things of that nature. So it definitely is something that if we want to get this stuff done, then we're gonna have to look at getting a vehicle, maybe split it, like talk to Heather, split it between the 3 departments. So it's kind of a everybody use deal whenever you need it.
When we were talking about it, it came up, the necessity to get the job done, people are having to use some of their own equipment, okay? That's unacceptable to me, that we'd have somebody having to use their personal stuff to take care of the city's business. I mean, I think that's a fair statement, that we wouldn't expect people to do that, right? Just like we don't expect, property of the city to use, right? So, that being said, that's where this conversation comes from, and he took me and showed me just the area he has is a large volume of ground to cover, no question. And if you start talking about the cities and ditches and other places, and if the electric department can use it, it's probably a very sensible, utility vehicle would be a very sensible purchase for the city. And the paper, slow within a year's time, it's just productivity of the man.
I agree, we don't want my employees using their own equipment, that creates issues. We have room in the budget for something like
I
this.
believe if we split it between the 3 departments, possibly even 4, if we go, electric, water, sewer, and sanitation, because we do spray around in the lagoon, so we could just spray it out of all 4 of those. We looked at, just briefly, I own a UTV, Matt owns a UTV, we bought them both at the same place, so we looked up their website, we looked up another website out of places in Columbia, and they have some used models. We could be looking at $8,000, so if you split it between 4 departments, 2,000 apiece, it wouldn't have a huge impact on any of their budgets. I definitely think it's doable.
I'll say, we were kind of talking, just would like to get your guys' input on prices. By no means do we need anything that's fancy, because it's gonna get beat up. From my department where we have to spray is, like I said, it's out in the middle of the field. And if these projects, sewer projects and everything go forward and we have a pivot out in the middle of the field, it's gonna be used at that to get out there to take care of that. So we just kinda wanna see what you guys think is somewhat of a decent range of price for going forward with that.
Well, if you had the ballpark, when you were using the 2-gallon sprayer, how long did it take to do what you're doing versus how long it takes you when somebody was using yours?
I think we got everything sprayed in 2 days with the 4-wheeler.
Mm.
But that's a 30-gallon sprayer tank versus a 2-gallon that you're having to walk and fill up and take off walking.
So 2 days versus,
I don't know that I don't even know that everything got sprayed that needed to be sprayed with a 2-gallon sprayer. To do it efficiently and do it correctly.
And you have to spray at least 2 or 3 times a year. right?
I'd say 2, probably 2 minimum, yeah.
And then using it with the other departments would justify the cost of it.
I know, yeah, because Phil, you spray quite a bit
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, we borrowed special spray, put it in the back of the truck, so yeah, we don't have one either, we borrow ourselves, so.
I did look on Gov Deals and there is one UTV right now for sale in South Carolina, so if you're looking to get that.
yeah, afraid of love.
It was only $750, but
Least
still.
I can do.
It's worth it. So do you all have an idea of like what a cost range that we should be looking in? Because if we bring something back for $10,000 or $15,000, obviously a little bit.
I mean, yeah, and I told her I was gonna start calling around, trying to see what was available, maybe used, see what, so I kinda just need to know a price range to tell the people to kinda go forward, get as most information as we can.
We don't want to get something we have to work on all the time either, though, because we're too tight. I mean, if we're gonna be using that to pivot where we're doing all the stuff, you're gonna have to, you need to probably look at this being an investment in a year and a half, 2 years down the road too as well. I mean, for other things we're gonna be doing next year.
Should be a likely use.
Yeah, you want.
What are you thinking, like a boom, 15-foot boom, or?
No, we don't need anything with a boom, just like a 30-gallon, 40-gallon spot sprayer is all we use right now with the 4-wheeler.
Okay.
So just something set up like that, a boom is not necessary for what we do, so.
So you just like a small gator or something?
Yeah, the Gator,
Yeah,
Kubota,
yeah, I mean, it
Ranger,
doesn't need to be anything fancy.
You've got the tank and everything, you just need the gator?
No.
Oh, you don't have the
We
tank
We do the
that,
tank
yeah.
too.
Yeah, just look, now's a bad time to be trying to buy one though, used, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean,
We had several on YC.
Yeah.
Power Source, but
they were all with like,
That- and that's just looking-
7 to 8,000, I think is what we found on YC Power Sports in Columbia. Just the brief thing that they had online for their used inventory, so.
I don't think I'd have an issue with a price range like that, I mean, especially if you're splitting it over 3 or 4 departments.
And I haven't even
We can
really
fit it in the budget.
talked to these two. but I don't know
Well, we
if you
could sell
want
a
to
dump
explain
truck or
what
something
you guys
else.
can use it for.
we're selling a Digger Derrick truck right now,
There you go.
so that's not budgeted in revenue right now, so that's just actually, it's only
Yeah.
at 5,600, 5,500.
Okay. Any other discussion on a UTV and sprayer?
We'll just bring back information hopefully on Monday then.
Okay.
Sounds good. Okay, moving on to the electric department, activity reports in the packet. Jeff, anything you wanna point out for us?
They're working on the 600-volt circuits. They're starting to terminate a lot of stuff. They should be done in the next 2 weeks. And we'll be running and phase things out, turn some breakers on and split some things up. And
Seems to
that's
be
mainly what we've been dealing with is contractors.
Seems to be a fair amount of streetlight repair on here. Is this due to the upgrades we've done, or?
No, this is what's, I mean, there's no working on them unless it's blown fuse. There's no working on these lights, they're self-contained. I mean, if they don't work, they don't work. So, I mean, we've got some in stock that we're just replacing them. That's not the only option there is. If the fuse blown, there's nothing else we can do to them. But replace them.
Any questions on the activity report? Anything for generation and purchase? How about distribution?
Let's see. Burkhart substation is going to be shut down. I don't know when. That's kind of up to us and up to Ameren, because they have a metering issue at our Burkhart sub, so they are basically estimating us right now. And it's been that way for, I don't know, since first April, I believe. And I talked to them, and I haven't heard any more back from them. I figure they're gonna call, I told them to call City Hall and talk.
They did stop by, the
Yeah.
technicians stopped by and talked to Mike and so what we're looking at is, possibly just a planned power outage in certain areas of town. We're gonna make sure that everyone that would be affected by that would be notified, with plenty of time, so that's what we're gonna coordinate with Ameren. Any of our critical customers, you know, our nursing homes and things like that, Jeff and his crew will be able to reroute the circuits so that they will not be shut down during that time.
I mean, it'd be better if they do this when it's cool weather, because I think nobody would have to be shut down if it was cool enough.
But
And plus, if they get these other 2 circuits in Wilson, I don't know what Ameren's lead time is here.
Right, and Jeff has communicated with them that we can, you know, reroute those circuits and possibly keep everybody still on, but if we have to do that in the heat of summer, that's not gonna work, because everybody's running their air conditioners, and it would overload our system, we wouldn't be able to handle that. So if we, like, weather, like right now, where nobody's got their air on, nobody has their heat on, we would probably be okay, but we can't guarantee that it's gonna stay like that.
It's gonna be warming up already this week, so you're gonna have a drain.
Yeah, I don't imagine Ameren will get to it this week.
No.
And they still had to order they had a special order the part, and, I mean, there's the process,
Yeah,
on their
it's,
side too.
well, they only meter 2 legs anyway, 3. They just average a third one.
Will the substation handle the whole town on one substation?
Well, they did for years.
Well, that's what I was thinking, so you just need circuits,
If it's cool enough weather, I could probably run the whole town on 2 circuits, if the weather's right. But if these guys get these other 2 circuits put in over here, then it'd be a lot easier. But, and maybe the temperature wouldn't be such a factor for us. You know, but I really think that, I don't know how long they're gonna drag their feet. You know, I can't speak for them, but,
until you have to shut people off.
it may go out on its own if we get too much on it. We'll just have to wait and see what they're.
Take that as more to come on that.
Yeah. I don't know, they need to make up their mind. They want to work with us too.
Okay, anything else for distribution? Any other? Okay, for Public Works, the street activity report is in the packet. So anything you wanna?
We had our annual spring cleanup. It went pretty good. Had about 25 dumpsters worth of trash we hauled off. Spent probably most of the month working on drainage. Lots of culverts and drainage work.
Okay. Anything for streets in particular? See anything in the packet? Anything for sanitation?
Not just the spring cleanup there.
Okay.
I do have something under sanitation, just to make you all aware. We have been, I meant to have it in this packet, and I apologize, I did not get in there. I'll get the numbers out to you all and mail it out. I did talk to the man about this. On our commercial customers, Our rates are not sufficient enough to cover the cost that James is charging us. Residential, we're still fine, we're still covering our sanitation and recycling costs, but we do need to consider a rate increase for our commercial customers, because we are losing money on those customers on some. I think there was one type of customer, if a commercial customer had 296-gallon poly carts, we're charging a lot more than what James is charging us, but, so we could adjust that down, but the rest, we're not covering our costs very well.
We need to make an adjustment this week.
Right.
Can't lose money.
Right, so I will, get that information out to you all. So you can review.
Anything for storm sewer?
We got a lot of just small projects we're working on, some replacement, some old stuff that's just more rusted out.
Any other?
Nope.
No?
Did you ever finish one of those?
As finished as it's going to be.
Oh, okay, I just asked.
Yep.
Okay, Mike's reports in the packet.
Mike is on vacation this week.
So others, or anything we need to hit in here?
No, it's been busy. It's been a busy spring. People are wanting to do a lot of things. Like
We're all
Phil
waiting
said,
for so long.
yeah, putting in culverts and things like that. So
Any as may arise?